imagine that you were training with sticks too, but it doesn't sound like it.
I was not training with sticks at the time because their tool of choice is the Japanese katana, the sword. And I was enamored with that. The principles all come from sword training. Real important concepts. A lot of those concepts has transferred over to what we do today. And the idea was, we're just thrilled with empty hand skill sets. But all the major arts, the tool, the sword, was the major art. So a samurai wouldn't think of going empty-handed into a confrontation. It was the sword, and then for times that you couldn't draw your sword, you found yourself. But it's a very important principle. The principles of the tool taught the empty hand, and that is a model that has trickled down to what we do today with American cane self-defense.
Well, I've not trained in Japanese arts. I've certainly read many of the books and some of the classics, and they're talking about the hara and the ki energy. I think for them it's Ki, Chinese
Correct.
Chi, and then you went with naturopathy instead of the traditional medical doctor route, and it's easy. I mean, for me to see why. I'm positing you learned from early on all about using this force, not in an abstract, but you use it. And now well, tell me about naturopathy. How's that different from regular medical training? I know it's 4 years.
Right, and there's I'll make the distinction there. So there's the naturopathic doctor who follows, the first do no harm principle, right, and nothing invasive, no use of medical drugs. Today you have naturopathic physicians who do go the route of studying pharmacology. My understanding is they even do minor surgery. So I don't do that. That's not what I do under that realm. But it's really looking at all the natural components. So where do you get these medical drugs? Well, they come from herbs, and so herbology is part of that study. So is the field of homeopathy, and so nutrition and proper care of the body and exercise and clean living and a variety of my area of specialty was putting on the hands. So very early on as a child, I learned that I could do things with my hands. Very early on, right?
No
so hands, feet, hands heating up, right, involuntarily. So when I would put my hand,
I did not know this, Joe.
Yeah.
This is something new.
Well, that's where it comes from, and there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of stories that students can tell about. Hey, there's something about putting on the hands, and when he puts the hands in. So I realized this, and I had no idea until I ran into. Oh yeah, you're an energetic. There's electricity there. You can measure this, right? So you can measure heart activity. You can measure brain activity as well, and it's no different. It's no different with this. So naturopathy focuses on that, and my thing was body work. And so what I did afterwards was go ahead and to play by the rules. Florida law says if you're going to put your hands on someone and you're going to be doing any type of body work, then you need to be a licensed massage therapist. So I had to go back to school. I went the entire route and did the whole medical massage therapy program, taught at the college, taught anatomy, physiology, and clinical therapy at the college.
I thought you was a nerd.
Yeah, that
you
in
had
that
to not
area.
only get the license, you had
Develop,
to teach it.
yep, developed
Get
a
degree in it.
a proprietary way of doing that, and taught it for CEs, for continuing education as well. I taught that, and still to this day I'm in private practice. So what I do is put my hands. People come in for seeking pain relief. A lot of times things that they haven't found a result with in conventional care. We don't make any promises. We don't make any medical claims whatsoever. We just vow to go ahead and listen to you, and then see if we can coax the body back to a state of balance.
And this is a well-established practice. Maybe not everyone has heard of it, but it was, I think, you, for a time anyway, were a certified quantum touch, I think is the trademark term, quantum touch practitioner, developed by a medical doctor who's promoted it, done a lot of research on it. This is something that is being tested and used by medical providers, including MDs, all over the country.
I was the one to introduce it here in Miami. I was the first to introduce that here and took it all the way through there. Yep, that was part of that at one point.